My beloved, my chosen one, my light that heaven has marked with fire. Do you feel that quiet shaking in your chest right now, like something ancient just leaned close to your heart? This isn't emotion and it isn't imagination. This is a moment that has been waiting for you. Archangel Michael is stirred, not in anger that destroys, but in urgency that protects. Because too many times you have hurried past moments meant to change you. Each time you rushed, a blessing passed so close it brushed your spirit and moved on. Tonight is different. Tonight something long hidden is pressing to be known. And heaven refused to let you miss it again. Listen carefully, because this is not random and it is not coincidence. A soul from your own family, someone who loved you deeply, has been restless in the unseen. They have been whispering through heaven, asking for permission to reach you. Because there is a truth they carried silently in life, that now must be revealed in spirit. This truth is not meant to scare you. It is meant to heal you, free you, and unlock what has been delayed. Before you go any further, pause and breathe. If you are here right now, heaven arranged your steps down to this exact second. This is a crossing point. And staying matters. Right here, let me ask you gently, not as pressure but as protection. Take a second to subscribe. Not for a channel, not for a name, but so you never again miss when heaven tries to reach you. You don't have to chase these moments. They will find you when you stay connected. This is about keeping the door open, so nothing meant for you slips past unnoticed again. Here is what you need to understand. That soul who loves you cannot rest yet, not because of pain, but because of unfinished truth. While they walked the earth, there were things they could not say, wounds they could not explain, patterns they could not break. Heaven has now allowed them to reveal what was hidden. Because you are strong enough to receive it. Archangel Michael stands close right now, sword ready, not to frighten you, but to guard this moment. He knows chances like this do not circle back easily. This is why the urgency feels heavy. You are sensing it already. Your thoughts feel louder, your heart faster, your hands slightly restless. That is because the veil between what you know and what you need to know is thinning. You didn't wander into these words. Heaven has been calling you repeatedly. And each time life distracted you, pulled you away, told you to come back later. But tonight a door has opened. And doors like this do not stay open forever. This is why the message feels firm. You are standing at the edge of a shift. That departed soul has been crying out. And their cry reached heaven. God heard it. That is why protection was sent before revelation. They are not coming to blame you, or burden you, they are coming to explain. They saw your confusion, your loneliness, the way you carried questions without answers. They saw it all from a place of clarity and peace. And they asked for this moment. So you would finally understand that none of your pain was wasted. There has been something unspoken in your family line. Something buried under silence, something everyone felt but no one named. Patterns repeated, wounds passed down, struggles that seemed to follow you no matter how hard you tried to escape them. This truth is the key that stops the cycle. Without it the story repeats. With it the chain breaks. That is why the urgency burns so strong. This is not just about you. It is about what ends with you. If your skin feels warm, if the weight on your shoulders feels lighter, if your breathing feels deeper, don't brush that away. Heaven has entered your space. The presence you feel is not loud, but it is real. Stay with it. The longer you remain open, the clearer the truth becomes. Clarity always follows courage. You have skipped moments like this before. Not because you didn't care, but because life trained you to move fast and protect yourself. But tonight is a crossing. Something is about to shift. In a way that cannot be undone. God says this moment was prepared long before you arrived here. God says what is revealed now will not break you. It will rebuild you. God says the truth is coming to lift, not to wound. Let me tell you this with honesty and care. After tonight things will not feel the same. You won't be able to unsee what you are about to understand. That is not loss. That is growth. The truth your loved one is bringing will turn confusion into clarity, and pain into direction. This is the kind of knowing that changes how you walk, how you choose, how you love. If this message is touching you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who has been carrying questions in silence. Like this video, so it can reach the ones who need it most. These words are meant to travel. And now hear this final part. You are not late. You are not behind. Heaven timed this perfectly. What was hidden is ready to surface. And once it does, you will feel a peace that makes sense for the first time. Stay present. Stay open. Let this moment finish its work in you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $10. The departed soul from your family has been restless in heaven. Because they carried a secret they could not release on earth. And even now that truth is pressing against your spirit, like a locked door shaking on its hinges. They tried to speak when they were alive. But the moment never came. And silence followed them into eternity. From there they pleaded before God, asking for one chance to reach you. Because what they held back is directly tied to where your life is going next. Not where it has been. Feel this shift for a second. Because tonight the space between heaven and earth has grown thin just for you. Like a curtain pulled slightly aside. Angels are leaning and watching closely. And Archangel Michael says, "Open this. Don't ignore it. Don't skip again." This urgency isn't fear. It's timing. What is hidden is not meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you for the future you keep sensing but haven't stepped into yet. You felt it before. That quiet pull towards something bigger, like a crown resting on your head, that you instinctively try to remove because it feels too heavy or undeserved. You tell yourself you're just ordinary, just trying to survive. But heaven has never agreed with that view. Your bloodline has been waiting for someone brave enough to face the truth. Someone willing to hear what others avoided. Someone ready to stop the cycle instead of repeating it. And that someone has always been you. Listen closely now. Because the voice of the departed soul grows clearer the moment you stop resisting. They whisper with love, not fear. Saying they saw your struggles from the other side. The betrayals you never spoke about. The nights you held yourself together when no one came to help. They carried their own pain too. But they refused to let it poison your future. So they carried this truth straight to God. Until permission was given to release it to you. That's why this message feels like it's pulling at you instead of just passing by, because destiny has a weight to it. This is not random content, not another voice in the noise. It's a meeting point between your everyday life and the unseen world stepping forward. And if this is resonating, take a moment here to like this video and stay connected. Because moments like this are rare, and you don't want to miss what continues to unfold. Here's what happens when you finally listen to heaven instead of brushing it aside. Invisible chains begin to loosen, patterns that haunted your family start to weaken, and struggles that never made sense suddenly reveal their source. You were fighting battles that were never meant to be yours, but once the truth is seen, you stop fighting blindly, and start walking free. Carrying clarity instead of confusion. Archangel Michael says, he is not only warning you, he is defending you. Standing with his sword drawn, cutting through distractions, delays, and spiritual interference that tried to keep you numb. That calm spreading through you right now, that warmth in your chest, that sense of presence even in silence. These are signs that heaven is close, and actively working around you. Understand this clearly, you are not being corrected out of anger, but protected through love. Michael's firmness comes from knowing how much has already been prepared for you. Blessings were scheduled, doors were aligned, help was assigned. But each time you turned away, those moments passed you by. What you thought were random delays, were actually missed intersections with divine timing. Now the departed soul begins to stir memories inside you. Small flashes from childhood, repeated phrases, expressions you never questioned back then. These aren't random thoughts, they are keys being returned to you. The Spirit of God is using them to soften your heart. Because what's coming isn't just information, it's understanding that reshapes how you see your entire life. This truth will explain why certain losses happened, why trust was broken, why paths suddenly changed without warning. It will show you that nothing was wasted, even the pain. And once you see it clearly, bitterness loses its grip. Wisdom takes its place. And that wisdom becomes your protection, your strength, and your guide forward. Archangel Michael says, this moment matters. Because choosing to ignore it again, would mean repeating cycles that were meant to end with you. But choosing to stay, to listen, to receive, changes everything. Tonight becomes the turning point. The moment curses collapse, clarity rises, and blessings finally find their way to you without resistance. If your heart is racing, and the atmosphere feels different, it's because heaven is present. Pouring love toward you that is fierce, protective, and deeply personal. Don't rush past this, don't close yourself off now. Stay here, stay open. And if this message is speaking to you, subscribe and share it with someone who may also be standing at the edge of their breakthrough. Because this is where the shift begins. And where your story starts moving in a new direction. Child of light, the reason your heart is pounding right now is because heaven is moving closer, not farther. This is not just emotion, this is recognition. Your spirit remembers who you are, even if your mind forgot. Archangel Michael says, stand still and listen. Do not rush past this moment. Because what is unfolding now is the continuation of a story that began long before you were born. A story written in the prayers of your ancestors, and sealed in heaven's records with your name on it. Every word you read is pulling you deeper into alignment. And the angels are guarding this space, so nothing distracts you again. Listen closely. Because this is where many people fail to stay. God says, I have watched you survive what should have broken you. You were never meant to be destroyed by the things that tried to bury you. The losses, the confusion, the feeling of being misunderstood, were not signs of abandonment. They were signs of preparation. Heaven allowed pressure, because pressure reveals strength. And strength was forming inside you, even when you felt weak. That is why the departed soul kept praying over you. Because they saw the strength you couldn't yet see. There is a moment coming back to you now. Maybe a small memory, maybe a feeling you never understood at the time. That moment wasn't random. It was a warning and a promise wrapped together. Archangel Michael says, that moment kept you alive, when darkness wanted you gone. You were protected more times than you know. Accidents that didn't happen, doors that closed at the last second, people who walked away even though you begged them to stay. Heaven blocked paths that would have destroyed your purpose. This is why the truth matters so much tonight. God says, my child, the secret that was hidden, was not hidden to hurt you. It was hidden to spare you until you were ready. Now you are ready. You have endured enough, learned enough, grown enough. The reason your soul feels heavy and light at the same time is because something old is leaving, and something powerful is taking its place. This is the shift you have been sensing, but couldn't explain. Archangel Michael says, do not confuse comfort with calling. There were times you almost settled, almost accepted less, almost convinced yourself that this was all life would give you. But heaven interrupted every time. That restlessness you feel is holy. It is the call of your destiny refusing to be silent. If this message is touching you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this moment, share it with someone who needs clarity, and subscribe so you don't miss when heaven speaks again. The departed soul is closer now. Not in fear, but in peace. They are not here to frighten you. They are here to free you. Their whisper carries one clear truth. You were never cursed, you were called. The patterns that repeated in your family were not your identity. They were assignments waiting for someone brave enough to end them. God says, I chose you because you would not break where others did. That is why your life felt heavier. You were carrying the weight of change. Feel how the atmosphere around you has softened. That is not coincidence. That is resistance leaving. Archangel Michael says, what once followed you, will follow you no longer. The shame, the guilt, the feeling of being behind in life is dissolving. You are not late. You are right on time. Heaven does not rush what it intends to last. This moment is proof that you were worth waiting for. Now hear this clearly. Because this is where transformation locks in. God says, from this night forward, you will see differently. The same situations will not confuse you anymore. The same people will not control you anymore. The same fears will not paralyze you anymore. Wisdom is replacing pain. Discernment is replacing doubt. Strength is replacing exhaustion. This is not hype. This is alignment. Archangel Michael says, do not go back to who you were, you cannot unsee what your spirit has recognized. The crown you feared is now within reach, responsibility is rising, but so is power. If this message is speaking directly to you, stay connected, subscribe, stay close, because what begins tonight continues to unfold step by step. The angels are stepping back now, not because they are leaving, but because you are standing. Heaven is not carrying you anymore, it is empowering you. God says, walk forward with confidence, I am with you. The truth has been released, the burden has lifted, the cycle has broken. And as you remain here breathing, listening, receiving, you are stepping into the life that was always meant to be yours. That had no words. That restlessness was not weakness, it was a signal, a holy alarm inside you, reminding you that you were made for more than survival. Every unanswered prayer, every quiet tear, every night you stared into darkness asking God why, was being recorded, not ignored. And tonight heaven answers back, not softly, but clearly. The atmosphere around you is shifting, because God does not delay forever, and your waiting season has reached its edge. Listen carefully, because this is where everything turns. The departed soul draws closer now, not with sadness, but with relief. Their voice is steady, loving, and full of truth, as they whisper that what haunted your family line stops with you. Patterns of loss, betrayal, silence, and fear were never meant to continue. They were allowed only until someone strong enough stood up to see clearly. That someone is you. And the moment you accept this truth, something ancient breaks, and something new is born. Feel that sudden clarity pressing into your mind. That is not imagination. That is Archangel Michael standing firm, his presence heavy with authority, saying, this is where confusion ends. For years you questioned your decisions, doubted your instincts, blamed yourself for things that were never yours to carry. But now heaven is correcting the story. God says, what tried to shame you was never proof of failure, it was evidence of calling. And what tried to exhaust you was never meant to defeat you, it was meant to awaken you. Notice how your breathing feels different right now. There is space where heaviness used to sit, there is calm where panic once lived. That is because the truth is settling into your spirit, and truth always brings peace. The departed soul smiles again, not because the past was easy, but because the future is finally free. They are showing you that the protection around your life was never luck. It was intentional. Every narrow escape, every closed door, every sudden change of direction, was heaven quietly rerouting you away from destruction. Now hear this with your whole heart. Archangel Michael is not just guarding you, he is preparing you. The next season of your life will require clear sight, strong boundaries, and courage to walk alone when needed. That is why discernment is being sharpened inside you right now. You will no longer ignore red flags, you will no longer overgive to those who drain you, you will no longer shrink to keep others comfortable. Heaven is restoring your authority, and with authority comes responsibility. There is a reason this message feels intense. Breakthroughs do not arrive gently. They arrive with truth, and truth shakes everything that cannot stay. The departed soul wanted you to know that some endings were not losses, they were rescues. Some people had to leave, because they could not follow you where God is taking you. And some delays existed only to protect you, from stepping too early into battles you were not yet equipped to win. Stay present, because something is sealing right now. In the unseen, angels are marking this moment, writing it as a turning point. What you understand now, will guide decisions later. What you receive now, will protect you in seasons ahead. This is not emotional hype. This is spiritual alignment. You are stepping into agreement with who heaven has always called you to be. Archangel Michael speaks again, firm but calm. You are no longer walking in the dark. From this point forward, your intuition will be sharper, your peace will be louder, and your discernment will speak before danger gets close. The enemy relied on your silence and self-doubt, but those tools no longer work. Awareness has entered the room. And awareness changes everything. Take a moment and acknowledge this shift. Not everyone gets moments like this. Not everyone listens when heaven whispers. But you stayed. You read. You leaned in. And because of that, what was hidden no longer has power over you. The departed soul can now rest, not because they are leaving you, but because their mission is complete. Their love remains, but the burden has lifted. This is where your new chapter quietly begins. Not with noise, not with applause, but with inner strength, clarity, and peace that does not depend on circumstances. Walk forward knowing you are not late, not broken, and not forgotten. Heaven has been patient with you, protective over you, and intentional about you. And from this moment on, you walk lighter, clearer, and stronger than before. Finally reaching you, and that is why the air around you feels heavier yet lighter at the same time. Because freedom often arrives with weight before it turns into wings. Right now heaven is not whispering anymore, it is confirming. You are not imagining this shift. Something ancient has ended, and something new has begun, the moment you chose to stay instead of skipping. That choice alone has echoed through the unseen. And the enemy knows it. That is why resistance tried to rise, but it failed. You stayed. And because you stayed, heaven stayed closer. Listen carefully, because this next truth settles everything. The reason your spirit always felt older than your age, is because you have been carrying wisdom forged through pain, not taught through comfort. God says, you were trained in hidden places, where no one applauded you, but heaven watched every step. The departed soul knew this long ago. They saw the fire in you, when you were still confused about yourself. That is why they prayed so fiercely for you, even after leaving this world. Their prayers did not expire. They multiplied. And tonight those prayers have reached their destination. Notice how your breathing feels different now, slower, deeper, calmer. That is not accidental. That is your nervous system finally realizing it is safe. The fight mode is shutting down. The survival mode is loosening its grip. Archangel Michael says, this is the moment your body learns what peace feels like without fear attached to it. You have lived too long in alert waiting for the next wound. But heaven says, the season of constant defense is ending. You are allowed to rest without losing ground. Here is what the departed soul wants you to understand clearly. The silence you hated was not abandonment. It was protection. There were things you begged God for, that if given early would have destroyed you. There were doors you cried over, that never opened, because danger stood behind them smiling. Now you can see it. Now you can feel it. God says, I delayed to preserve you, not to punish you. And Michael stands as witness to that truth. Pay attention to the warmth in your hands, or the pressure near your heart. That sensation is not random. Angels are sealing what has been revealed, so it cannot be stolen again. This is why doubt feels weaker than it used to. This is why old fears suddenly seem small. Light has weight, and it is settling inside you. That is why running no longer feels natural. That is why hiding feels uncomfortable. You have outgrown the place where fear once kept you contained. And here is the part that changes how you move forward. The cycles that ended tonight will not try to restart in another form. Heaven is not careless with endings. When God closes something, Michael stands guard to ensure it stays closed. The enemy cannot recycle what has been burned. The departed soul is at peace because they know you will not repeat their suffering. You will not carry what crushed them. You will not normalize pain as destiny anymore. Do you see how your perspective is shifting even as you read this? That is alignment. Confusion loses power when truth arrives. And truth has arrived fully now. Archangel Michael says, clarity will follow you from this night forward. Decisions will feel cleaner. People will reveal themselves faster. Your intuition will speak louder than fear. That is not coincidence. That is training completed. Heaven is asking you to do one simple thing from this moment on. When peace comes, do not question it. When blessings arrive, do not shrink. When love shows up without manipulation, do not run. You are not being tested anymore. You are being trusted. God says, you have proven your endurance. Michael says, you have proven your loyalty to truth by staying when escape was easier. And if these words are resonating deep inside you, take a moment to acknowledge it. Let this message anchor itself by liking this video, sharing it with someone who feels unseen, and subscribing so you stay connected to what heaven continues to release. This is not about algorithms alone. It is about alignment. Staying connected keeps you positioned. The departed soul is stepping back now, not in distance, but in peace. They are not leaving you. They are resting because their mission is complete. Their love remains, but the burden has lifted. You will feel them differently now, not as ache, but as quiet strength. Not as loss, but as covering. And as this moment settles, understand this clearly. Your life does not return to normal after this. It moves forward. You do not go back to surviving. You begin living with awareness. You walk lighter. You choose better. You trust deeper. Heaven has done its part, and now your path opens naturally. Stay grounded in this truth. Stay open. Stay present. The fire inside you is no longer hidden, and it was never meant to be. They see the heaviness lifting, they see you stepping into the identity heaven wrote over your life long before you were born. Beloved, you have always wondered why storms found you when others seemed untouched, why life felt like a mountain to climb when it seemed so easy for those around you. It was never punishment, it was preparation. Chosen ones walk paths that feel impossible, because their soul is being trained to carry light where darkness once ruled. Every tear you shed, every betrayal you endured, every silent night you prayed alone, those were not accidents. They were shaping you into the vessel capable of carrying the blessings that generations before you could only hope for. Tonight heaven says enough. The refining fire has done its work. Michael's sword blazes in the unseen realm, slicing through the lingering chains of fear and doubt, declaring that you are ready, fully ready, to step into what was always yours. The departed soul leans close, whispering, "Child, you were never alone. Every step you thought you walked in shadow, I was beside you. Every cry in the dark, I felt. And now the time of understanding has come. Open your heart and receive what I was never able to say on earth." Can you feel it? That subtle shift in the air, that tiny spark in your chest, that grows hotter with every line you read. That is the signal that heaven has not just spoken, it has acted. Blessings long delayed are now being released. Curses that have hovered over your family for generations are collapsing like brittle walls. Michael's voice echoes in your spirit, "Do not hesitate, do not turn away. The truth will set you free, but only if you dare to embrace it now." Every moment you linger, every heartbeat you give to this, is pulling you further from chains that have been quietly binding you. You are standing at the edge of revelation. And the angels are leaning closer, their wings brushing against your soul, whispering assurance into your deepest fears. This is not coincidence. This is destiny meeting you in the middle of your ordinary life, turning it into extraordinary divine encounter. Think back, child, to the moments you thought no one noticed. The night you cried alone after betrayal. The morning you woke from a nightmare that mirrored your life. The hour you gave up in despair. Those were not meaningless. Michael shows them to you now like flashlights in the dark, each memory revealing a piece of the larger puzzle. The departed soul murmurs, "I carried secrets to protect you, but now they are released, because you are ready. You are strong enough, brave enough, and worthy enough, to hold them." And as you breathe in these words, the fog that clouded your understanding begins to lift. The confusion, the heartbreak, the doubt, they all start to dissolve. Because what you are receiving now is clarity. The enemy's whispers telling you that you are too weak, too late, too ordinary, are silenced by the roar of heaven. Every lie is exposed, every shadow is pierced, every doubt is confronted by truth. Michael stands sword raised, light blazing around him, announcing to every dark force, not this one. They are claimed. They are protected. They will not be moved. Do you feel the heat in your chest? That warmth is heaven's fire, confirming that what you are reading is real. Each tear you shed is not weakness, it is the soil where your freedom is planted. Every pulse of your heart is a drumbeat of divine orchestration, a rhythm set by God Himself, to declare your victory. The departed soul smiles through the veil of eternity, their love now unbound, their mission complete, because you have opened yourself to receive. And child, what is coming will exceed all imagination. Doors that were locked will swing wide open. People who doubted your worth will see your destiny before their eyes. The dry places in your spirit will bloom with miracles. The prayers of generations long unheard will find answer through your obedience tonight. Heaven has orchestrated this moment with precision. The delay, the waiting, the tests, they were all moving parts designed to prepare you for this instant where everything shifts. Michael says, what was delayed is not denied. What was hidden is not lost. Step fully into this. Because heaven has been waiting. Look around with your inner eye, see the scrolls being unsealed, promises being written, blessings being released like rivers flooding parched lands. Feel the energy of angels surrounding you, circling in joy, singing without words, pouring light into every dark corner of your spirit. The departed soul leans closer, whispering, you are free, you are loved, you are chosen. Walk boldly, child, do not shrink from this calling. The pain you carried is broken, the chains you inherited are shattered. Your future generations will thrive, because you dared to listen. Michael steps forward, sword ablaze, and says, this is your inheritance, take it, walk in it, do not waste another second. And you feel it, the subtle shift in your energy, the rise of courage, the flood of faith, the surge of hope that feels almost physical. You are no longer bound by fear, doubt, or uncertainty. You are aligned, you are claimed, you are victorious. What you read now is not merely words. It is the unlocking of your destiny, the fulfillment of what heaven has whispered into your spirit since the beginning. Each second you linger, each thought you hold on this truth, is a step closer to a life that has been waiting for you all along. Child of destiny, the enemy tried to silence you, the world tried to diminish you, but heaven has triumphed. And as you breathe these words in, you will sense the profound truth, that your life is no longer ordinary. You are extraordinary, chosen, protected, and unstoppable. The departed soul smiles one last time, Michael raises his sword in finality, and heaven itself leans in to crown you with your rightful identity. Your past has passed, your chains are broken, your blessing is alive. And from this moment, every step you take, every breath you breathe, is guided, guarded and graced by the very hand of God. Your destiny is no longer ahead of you, it is alive within you, and it has been waiting for you to claim it. You are still breathing, and that single truth carries more power than you realize. Because breath itself is heaven's signature over your life, proof that even in your weakest moments, you were never abandoned, never forgotten, never left to fight alone. Every breath you take is a quiet reminder that Archangel Michael stood between you and what tried to destroy you. That unseen hands pushed you forward when you felt like collapsing. And that the departed soul never stopped interceding for you, even after leaving this world. This moment did not arrive by accident. It arrived because every tear, every delay, every silent prayer, has finally aligned into your release. Feel that warmth spreading in your chest right now. Because it is not emotion, it is healing in motion, touching places you learned to hide, because the pain felt too deep to name. The heartbreak that made you doubt your value, the betrayal that rewired your trust, the loneliness that made nights feel endless. God is moving through all of it, with precision and mercy. The departed soul leans close, and whispers, that they carried your name into heaven's courts, not to accuse, but to plead. And God says, the promise spoken over you would not fail, would not be delayed forever, would not be stolen. That promise is unfolding now. Which is why you were drawn here, and why something inside you refused to scroll away. Look forward now, even if only in your imagination, and notice how the picture is already changing. Because prophecy often arrives as a feeling, before it becomes a fact. Doors you assumed were sealed, are beginning to crack open, light is leaking into spaces that stayed dark for years. And hope is rising quietly, where despair once lived. Archangel Michael says, blessings are being released, that will surprise you in their timing, and overwhelm you in their fullness. Resources finding you after seasons of lack, relationships healing, or being replaced with ones that finally feel safe. Strength returning to your body, and peace visiting you at night without explanation. These were never cancelled, only held back, until you were ready to receive without fear. The departed soul smiles now, not with sadness, but relief. Admitting that the truth was heavy to carry, and dangerous to reveal before its time. Because you needed strength, to hold it without running. They loved you enough to wait, and they love you enough now, to rejoice as you step into freedom. Their words are not memory, but living breath, reaching into wounds no human hand could touch. Activating healing that logic cannot explain. This is what divine timing looks like. The reward of staying, when it would have been easier to quit. The miracle hidden inside obedience. Archangel Michael stands taller now, wings wide, fire intensifying. And every lie that followed you for years, is being consumed in that blaze. The whispers that called you weak, lose their voice, the doubts that predicted failure, collapse under truth. And the fears that trained you to shrink, scatter like ash. What remains is clarity. The knowing that you are not ordinary, not overlooked, not late, but chosen, protected, and positioned. Do not argue with this truth anymore. Because resistance is no longer humility, it is delay. You carried storms inside you for so long. That peace felt unfamiliar. But heaven is wrapping peace around you now, like a cloak that fits perfectly. Not heavy, not fragile, but secure. Archangel Michael says, the battle against your soul ends here. The generational chains fall here. And nothing that once clung to you, has permission to follow you forward. Notice how your shoulders feel lighter, your thoughts quieter, your chest calmer. Because what you are feeling is not weakness, it is awakening. The departed soul whispers through tears, that your freedom has also set them free. And that joy is finally replacing worry. Heaven has drawn a clear line, between who you were forced to be, and who you are becoming. And Archangel Michael stands at that line, declaring that no darkness crosses again. Attacks that once succeeded, will now fail. Traps will be exposed before they close. And words meant to curse you, will reverse into blessing. What felt like loss, will transform into testimony. What looked like defeat, will become elevation. And what felt empty, will soon overflow. The departed soul nods knowingly, promising that understanding will come, not with pain, but with gratitude, for how carefully God designed your story. Watch closely in the days ahead. As shifts begin to accelerate, people who walked away, replaced with better. Silence replaced with clarity. Delays replaced with momentum. Archangel Michael says, heaven is not finishing with you. Heaven is beginning through you. Which is why this message arrived with urgency and weight. Because you were closer to giving up than anyone knew. Heaven intervened. Because your story is not allowed to end in survival, it is meant to move into purpose. From this moment forward, walk differently, speak with confidence, love without fear, and stand without apology, because you are covered, guided, and defended. Storms may try to rise, but they will not drown you. Opposition may roar, but it will not silence you. When doubt returns, remember this moment. When fear whispers, remember who stood with you. And when weakness tries to convince you to stop, remember that God says, strength is revealed precisely where you once felt fragile. This truth is not just for now, it is the foundation of every victory waiting ahead. Beloved, feel the shift within you. The heaviness that once weighed on your shoulders is lifting like mist in the morning sun. You may notice your chest expanding, your breath deeper, your heart lighter. That is not coincidence. That is heaven responding to obedience, to your decision, to stay, to your courage, to receive what was always meant for you. The departed soul leans closer, their voice trembling with relief, whispering, I can rest now, because you will not forget this. You will not walk in ignorance again. You are seeing what I long to show you, and your life will never be the same. Every tear, every heartbeat, every shiver that runs through your body is a confirmation, freedom has touched you. Michael stands taller, his wings radiating light that pushes back every shadow that dared to linger. His sword glows with authority, cutting off every word, every thought, every spirit that tried to steal your destiny. Can you sense it? That undeniable power rising inside your chest. That is God's presence declaring over you. This child will not be shaken. This child will not fail. This child will rise above every plot and scheme. Look around with the eyes of the Spirit. The invisible chains that once bound your mind, body, and soul are breaking one by one. Every memory of betrayal, every scar of rejection, every sting of disappointment is being redeemed. Michael's voice echoes in your spirit, firm and unwavering. No force of darkness can touch this one anymore. The seed of greatness planted in them will now bear fruit that will astonish generations. And the departed soul smiles, tears of joy glistening in their eternal eyes. See how God has turned what was meant for harm into your harvest. Your patience, your endurance, your steadfastness, they were never in vain. Feel that fire in your belly, child. That surge in your spirit is not fear, it is empowerment. It is heaven awakening the warrior within you. The days of walking unsurely, questioning your worth, doubting your purpose are over. From this night forward, your footsteps will shake the earth with authority, your words will carry power that aligns with heaven, and your vision will pierce through every deception that tries to camouflage itself as truth. Beloved, know this, your life has always been watched. Your steps, your struggles, your silent prayers, they were all known. The enemy sought to blind you, to make you believe that struggle meant absence, that loss meant rejection, that silence meant forsaking. But tonight, you are seeing the truth. Nothing could separate you from the plan of God. Not one betrayal, not one heartbreak, not one storm. Michael roars again, and the sound reverberates through your spirit like thunder. Rise now, walk now, speak now. You are my chosen. You are my warrior. You are my vessel of victory. And as you rise, you will notice something incredible. Doors you thought were closed forever will open without effort. People who doubted you will marvel at your rise. Opportunities that once evaded you will now pursue you. And most importantly, you will walk in a confidence that comes not from self, but from heaven itself. The departed soul leans closer one last time, whispering, "Child, carry this truth in every heartbeat. Let it guide your decisions, strengthen your steps, protect your heart. You are the fulfillment of what I prayed for. You are the crown of generations. You are unstoppable. Child, breathe this in, let it settle deep. You are not ordinary. You are extraordinary. You are not weak. You are unstoppable. You are not abandoned. You are cherished. You are not defined by what you endured. You are defined by the light that now courses through your veins, the fire that now burns in your heart, and the purpose that now drives your steps. Michael lowers his sword, not in retreat, but in honor. The departed soul fades with peace, knowing their mission was complete. Heaven stands smiling, affirming, declaring, that the life you step into now is a life of favor, authority, and unstoppable destiny. Walk boldly, speak powerfully, love fiercely. And never forget, that the chains have broken, the fire has ignited, and the truth will carry you into every victory awaiting you.